Everybody knows it's what's in your pants that counts.
It's so big.
When you're looking for a new carry gun, one part of the equation that's super important, whether you're a longtime CCW holder or a first-time gun purchaser, is the holster. It's very important, and it's something that you need to pay attention to very carefully. But before you can start talking about carry pistols, you really want to start talking about carry positions and understand your limitations, and before you kind of make the plunge and spend a lot on a holster. Appendix carrying is in the front where your appendix is, and at first glance it might seem very dangerous to be sticking a deadly weapon down the front of your pants where your family jewels are, or where your private parts are. We have a lot of different types of carry positions, however. So appendix carry is in the front, and a lot of professionals will tell you, and a lot of trainers will tell you, that it's the best position to be able to get to the firearm quickly and kind of defend yourself from an attacker or prevent somebody from grabbing your gun. So everything is right there in the front. So I would say appendix carry is definitely the best option. If you're of a slender build, you may be able to pull it off. I find it very uncomfortable, but I think to each their own. So strong side carry is at the 3 o'clock position. It's directly on your dominant side, and you see a lot of service people have their pistol directly at the 3 o'clock at the strong side position. Your dominant hand has the quickest access to it, like an old Western. It's probably the quickest way to get a pistol out of a holster if you are trained. Appendix carry is not as dangerous as it may seem at first glance, as long as you know your proper safety fundamentals. I'm not going to get into that here. I'll make that into another video and we can go over all the safety fundamentals together, because it's super important for new shooters. Appendix carry also has a lot of advantages with reload speed and draw speed, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So imagine a clock around your waist. The 3 o'clock position would be the dominant side. Then there's also obviously 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5:30, and then 6 o'clock, which they call a small of back carry. And I certainly can't get away with that. I'm a ex-skateboarder. My britches sag too much to be able to get away with small of back carry. Now, I'm a guy with a little bit of gut around the middle, so the most comfortable place for me to carry is right around 4 o'clock. It's right there on my tushy, it's right there on the soft spot. It's easiest to sit down with, and I find over long periods of time it's definitely the most comfortable. With smaller guns, it's certainly at some points undetectable. However, there is a downside to that. Whenever you print a little bit back there, people standing behind you in line might be able to see it, and they might even try and snatch it if they can see it. And if you're bending over in a store to pick something up for somebody, you're certainly going to show it and flash it, and that can be bad. Most people will probably be like, oh, he's got a pistol, or he's got a gun, that's no sweat. But there are those people that would be like, he's got a gun, and just freak out everybody in the store, and then that's just not something you ever want. So you'd never want people to see your concealed carry. That's very important when you're in a public place, and you certainly know that these days that could cause a panic, and you could get shot just for being the person that they're pointing at. So very important that you practice your non-confrontational skills and your de-escalation skills on a serious note. Just so you know, if you're a little bit bigger guy, you're going to have a problem carrying appendix. If you're like me and you kind of have skinny legs and your gut kind of hangs out over, it's very uncomfortable and it digs into you, and it's not impossible, especially if you get down to a smaller pistol, and there are holsters that may help, but quite honestly, for a bigger guy, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is going to be the best for you. Take it from somebody who's ran the gambit and bought the holsters. It's important that there's like a comfort scale. It's the CC scale. It's comfortability versus concealability versus capacity. So let's call it the CCC. We'll call it the CCC scale. Okay? concealability, comfortability, and capacity. And I've already ran the gambit, so take it from me, if you're a bigger guy, and you, especially if you want to carry a larger gun, you're going to want to go to either strong side or the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock position. Now, there are tons of different types of holsters out there, some more comfortable than others, leather-backed ones with kydex, full kydex. They've even got ones that have a sidecar that you can hold a magazine up front along with your pistol. So if you're a thinner build, you can wear an appendix rig with a secondary, what they call a sidecar, and that has a spot for you to put a secondary magazine and increase your capacity tenfold. Because you print a lot less. It's a lot harder to detect when you carry appendix. And as a bigger guy, if you really want to hide it, if you're going into a place, you can just move it over to appendix. And if you're going to be standing up most of the time, it's not going to be too bad. So I'm hoping now you can make a little bit more educated decision on what type of holster you want to get, maybe even what type size gun you want to get or are able to get. I wouldn't recommend thinking that as a bigger guy you're going to be comfortable carrying a full-size pistol, even a medium-sized pistol, even a compact pistol. Micro compact and appendix, for me, is if I'm going to carry appendix, it's really the only way that I can do it. I have a Glock 43X. The Glock 43X with a specific type of holster can be carried appendix, but it's not an all-day thing. It's pop down to the Home Depot or pop down to the Lowe's and then find, but it's pretty uncomfortable. I have to say that. So definitely a lot more comfortable on your tush. Concealed carrying in some states is illegal without a permit. In some states, it's legal without a permit, like Texas. You can open carry or concealed carry in Texas. They call it constitutional carry. And some other states are trying to get that law adopted. In Georgia, I think, is one that's just recently passed it just today. So we have... it kind of varies state to state. You're going to need to look up your specific state's laws to understand, the laws concerning concealed carry and open carrying a firearm. But do yourself a favor. Take the classes. Get the permit. Some states will allow other states' permits. So you may be able to travel with your concealed carry between state to state, depending on where you live. But look it up. It's very important. And you don't want to get caught with a concealed weapon when you don't have a permit. You're going to get a felony and you'll then never be able to own a firearm. So it's really important that if you're going to concealed carry. However, where I live, you can carry in your car. So you can take a pistol from your house to your car, but it needs to be visible. And then you can conceal carry it in your car legally without a permit. But like I said, you need to know your specific state's laws specifically so that you don't get in trouble, catch a felony, and go to jail. You don't want that. What do you think about appendix carrying? What kind of holster do you use? Full-size, medium-size pistol? Where do you carry? Let us know in the comments below what you think about belly bands, some of the stuff that I haven't tried out. It's definitely interesting and may help somebody else out making the decision for their carry pistol. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you support the content that I'm making, like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Check out the description for my Patreon. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching The Tactical Hit.